Play Cafe project was an idea that emerged from myself and my small son when he was around 2, because there was a massive barrier that we were facing of trying to access public spaces where he could play and then I could also relax, and we couldn't find spaces where we could both have that together. So he would go to nursery and he was getting all of these lovely experiences of play where his play was kind of enriched. And then when he wasn't at nursery and we would come out of nursery and we were at home, then we were like, where else can we go to play? And he kind of put that question to me, Mummy, what about all the other spaces? The Play Cafe project has 2 aims. It's trying to understand the current opportunities that children have to play in community and in business play spaces, and to understand the underlying philosophies and the principles behind them. And together with children and families, we want to co-design together what would Froebelian play cafes look like? What would play cafes which are designed by children and families look like? A unique element of the Play Cafe project is that it worked very closely with very young children as young advisors, from the idea of the project to the methodological design and approach, to analysis and the creation of the outputs like the storybooks. We worked closely with a group of 16 young advisors across Scotland and Greece. The youngest was 1.5 and the oldest 8.
As a children's book illustrator, I work very, very closely with these young children, and there's a going back and forth of asking questions of their opinions or their views. The questions goes around like, what do you want in an ideal play space? What kind of experience that you would like to have when you're playing? What are your opinions of play? I do feel like this is very empowering because children are taking ownership of this whole part of the research project. We're putting them at the center of this research project because their opinions and their views matters most. So I think that's the beautiful part of it. And at the end of the day, we're sharing it back with them. We're sharing it with their families. We're sharing it with, different parts of the community to say that this is what the children feel and this is what the children want in a play space.
The Play Cafe, what was unique about it is that the child is playing and the mother or the father or the adult is enjoying their time as well. They can sit, they can relax, they can blend in and play with their child. Their child can come to them, and that makes it very unique. So it's not like disconnecting, the child and the parent and the carers. It's actually giving both of these groups a space where they can get together and enjoy their time together. And that's been something that many of the families have been feedbacking about. We want places where we can also enjoy. It's not just about the child or it's not just about the adult. It's a place where we can all enjoy together.
Η διαδικασία δημιουργίας των pop-up play café στην Ελλάδα ήταν γεμάτη φαντασία, συνεργασία και αλληλοϊποστήριξη. Μέσα σε αυτό το περιβάλλον συνεργασίας, ο ρόλος μου ήταν συμμετοχικός αλλά και δημιουργικός, αφού είχα την ευκαιρία να συμβάλλω στο σχεδιασμό και τη διαμόρφωση του χώρου και του εκπαιδευτικού υλικού. Η δημιουργία του εκπαιδευτικού υλικού και του εξοπλισμού ήταν μια πολύπλοκη διαδικασία, καθώς συνέδεε στοιχεία της φρεμπελιανής παιδαγωγικής προσέγγισης, αποτελέσματα από την πραγματοποίηση των play cafés στη Σκωτία, αλλά και την εσωτερική ανάγκη των παιδιών τόσο για εξερεύνηση όσο και για επικοινωνία με τα υπόλοιπα μέλη της κοινότητας.
The NGO is based in the center of Athens, so it's an area that a lot of refugees and migrants live and a lot of low-income families from Greek backgrounds. A lot of the difficulties that these families face are tied to, not having access to quality play spaces, a lot of issues with safety in these areas. These are very densely populated areas and areas that a lot of substance abuse happens. And so these places are safe havens for these families. And this is where children can come and receive education support and find resources for their play.
The families that I've been working with were based in Scotland and specifically Edinburgh. And I've had families from different backgrounds, Scottish, British, but I've also had families which had a Afghan or Iranian background, so they were migrants or refugees. Some of these families who have been more recent migrants or refugees, especially the mothers, some of them didn't even speak the language, the English language. That was a huge barrier for them. So they had difficulty even finding out about spaces and places. Financial aspects was another aspect that we really found is causing difficulty for these newly migrant families. That was a huge barrier for them. The pop-up play cafes that we've been running across different times, that was a huge support for these families. They came along and they loved it, and it was like very touching when one of these Afghan refugee mothers came to me at the end of one of the play cafes and said, please, if you were running anything like this again, please let us know. We really don't have anywhere to go.
Υπήρχαν κάποιες διαφορές στα play cafe, αλλά αυτό που μου έκανε εντύπωση και στα δύο ήταν ότι ο χρόνος πέρασε τόσο γρήγορα και όλοι ασχολήθηκαν με τις εμπειρίες, γονείς και παιδιά. Κύλησε όλο τόσο όμορφα, υπήρχε ηρεμία και χωρίς συγκρούσεις. Ως παιδαγωγός προσχολικής ηλικίας, γίνομαι συχνά μάρτυρας συγκρούσεων μεταξύ των παιδιών. Παρατηρώντας τις οικογένειες να παίζουν, έβλεπα πόσο αφοσιωμένοι είναι σε αυτό που κάνουν και πόσο διασκέδαζαν. Ήταν μια ευκαιρία να περάσουν ποιοτικό χρόνο όλοι μαζί. Τέλος, η δημιουργικότητα είναι μια δεξιότητα που μοιάζει να ενισχύεται πολύ σε χώρους διαμορφωμένους που προάγουν την ελευθερία, αφού τα παιδιά μαγείρεψαν ποικιλία φαγητών με ανοιχτού τύπου υλικά και δημιουργήσαν ξυλίνες κατασκευές καθοδηγώντας το παιχνίδι μόνοι τους.
The key things that we have found is there's a lot of anxiety and stress that adults and carers feel when they're accessing public life with their children to play. So things like there's nowhere to go, there's no space to play, where we feel like being in the way, or a difference to a creche or a playgroup. It's there for a limited time. You have to be there at 11 until 12. It's not there all day at any time. It was very clear from the research that play cafes, which are created with intention in their design and resources for both children and their families, are scarce. Current play cafe type provisions, including playgroups, are not always designed with intention or with pedagogical and reflective practice at the heart of them. So at the moment we're working with two community groups, Home Start Edinburgh and the Heart of New Haven, and because of the success of the pop-up play cafe, we really want to make this a more permanent feature because of the gap that we've identified. The future vision of a play cafe, it needs to be properly staffed, so that means we need the investment and funding so that we can design play cafes with intention, paying attention to all the different ingredients children and families highlighted to us as important things that matter, from the design, space and resources to principled pedagogical practices, continuous learning and reflective practice, to spaces that are loving and caring and which promote social justice and challenge inequities.
This research is just really beautiful because it's not only just a simple research project, there's a lot of community work involved in it. It's not just the four of us, there's a lot more like, parents, carers, so it's really everyone's effort, and I think that's what makes this research really beautiful and promising, and we really want to make sure that it's sustainable for the community, of course.